Hey guys, it's Vera Wild, and I'm going to talk about something that you may have noticed every now and again. I'm not consistent about it, but I do wear glasses. I don't have them on right now because I'm going to demonstrate something in a second. Part of the reason I haven't worn glasses all that often is because, well, part of it is, a big part of Vera is performance, and when I perform on a stage, I generally don't wear my glasses. They reflect the light, and unless they really go with an outfit that I'm wearing, they're just not suitable. So I kind of got used to just doing all of this and not having glasses. That's part of it. The other thing is that my glasses frames were never overly masculine, but they kind of were general neutral, but I never felt particularly feminine in them. I have had some feminine glasses frames for a few performance pieces and whatnot, but they've never had prescription lenses in them. Well, I have now gotten prescription frames and with lenses in them that are actually distinctly feminine. I wanted to share those with you and tell you a little bit about my experience getting them. But first, for comparison, you've probably seen me with these sometimes before. These are my normal glasses. As I said, they're fairly gender neutral. There's nothing particularly overly masculine about them, but this is day-to-day wear. Now, what I picked up are these. As you can see, very distinctly feminine style in the framing. Now, these came from Zenni Optical, which was a big part of why I didn't do something like this sooner. I think, like most people with glasses, you know best how it looks when you actually go and put them on. When you go and get your prescription changed, you try on some new frames, and I go to eye appointments as a man, and I would have felt weird trying them on, and it wouldn't have been the same anyway because I wouldn't have had, the hair, the makeup, and putting these on as a guy, it's not quite the same. So it wouldn't have given me the full look anyway. So I did roll the dice on Zenni Optical, which actually I think is kind of a cheaper way to go anyway. You tend to get fairly jacked up prices when you go to wherever you're actually getting your eyes checked to get your glasses. Sometimes insurance can offset that, but usually they'll only give you one frame a year, and only so much, and all of that. But yeah, as I said, these came from Zenni Optical, which has an interesting feature where you can upload a picture of yourself and just do a head-on picture, and you can kind of superimpose the frames over that. Now, it's not perfect. There was actually another pair I bought in addition to this that I thought I was going to like more. I actually like these much better. But it gives you a rough idea. It gives you a ballpark, help you narrow down some possibilities. As I said, these were not particularly expensive. These, with shipping, ran me, I think, between $40 and $50, which is much less than I'm used to paying for prescription glasses. Now, you do need to know what your prescription is, and you can get that from any eye doctor you happen to be seeing. But there's also something else you're going to need that is pretty much never on your actual prescription that they'll print out for you. And that's your pupillary distance, which they will often designate as PD. The way I got that was the last time I actually had my prescription changed. I basically sort of looked over the shoulder as they were writing down my prescription, saw the number next to PD, and recorded that on my phone. And so I know my pupillary distance. They generally won't tell you that because it's part of how they try to ensure that you keep coming back, because otherwise you don't have every single piece of information that in your prescription to actually get a new pair of glasses somewhere else. If you ask them, they'll probably just give you that information. I was a little too embarrassed to ask, so I did kind of sneak it myself. The one thing about Zenni Optical that throws things off a little bit for me is their pupillary distance options are whole numbers only. So like my pupillary distance is 57.5, which they don't let you do. I could do 57, I could do 58, and since neither is exact, this did take me a little getting used to. And once I put it on, things just seemed slightly out, but I've gotten used to it since then, and now it seems perfectly fine. So it's going on a half, being off by a half measure in pupillary distance will throw it off initially, but you'll get used to it, and it's not that bad. It doesn't give me a headache or anything like that. And I now have these wonderful feminine glasses that I've never had before. And I've thought about for years, for a very long time, about getting something like this. And now that I have, I wanted to share that with you and tell you a little bit about my experience and what I went through to get them. There are probably other websites out there as well. Zenni Optical was one that I had sort of used in a rush before when some glasses of mine had broken and I needed some other ones in a really rush hurry. So I got the ones that I showed you before were a rush order from Zenni because I needed something right away and I didn't know when I could get an appointment and what it was going to cost me and all that. So I already knew them, but there are probably other sites out there as well. And as someone who I don't wear contacts and I never had, it's just really nice to be able to see but still feel like I'm not holding on to something that's lingering masculine on my face as I do all this, that I have something that feels distinctly feminine and distinctly different from how I go about day to day as a guy. So that is really nice for me to have. I wanted to share that with you and talk to you guys a little bit about what I went through to get these. So I hope you found that informative and helpful. I'm not sure if I'll classify this as a cross-dressing tips for beginners or it's product review. It's not really. I don't know. I will figure it out, and you'll already know because it'll be in the title of the video. But in any case, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I will put a link down in the description to my Patreon page. Please consider becoming a patron and contributing. It will help me start to do more of the product reviews, which I've already had some up already. If I can hit later goals, I'll start putting videos out more regularly. But I hope you take a look at that and we'll consider it. But in any case, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, guys.